Diane, 10:52 AM, Saturday the 7th of October, and I'm recording my video on my thoughts about Twin Peaks. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all things Twin Peaks, which I recently started watching for the first time. I've been meaning to watch this show for literal years because, I don't know, like, I've just been intrigued by it and I've wanted to watch more of David Lynch's stuff since I watched Mulholland Drive many years ago, and I just haven't got around to it. But recently I just decided to watch it. I felt like autumn was just the right time for it, even though it does start in February, but like just all the wood interiors, the fashion, it just feels very autumnal. So I was just like, yes, let's just watch it. Let's get on the hype train. And for a while I didn't really get it. Everyone says it's weird and a bit freaky, and for the first season I was just like, okay, it's a little bit quirky, a little bit strange, but it's not really that weird. Apart from like the dream scene in, I think it was episode 3. But yeah, like I was just not really kind of getting why everyone was saying it was so weird and like freaky and just bizarre. I just thought it was more like atmospheric, and I mean quite a lot of the time I could just take things at face value, so even though there was weird stuff going on in that universe, that's just how it is for me when I'm watching it. What can I say about it? Well, first I just need to drink a damn fine cup of coffee and take a bite out of my cherry pie, because I'm like, what else are you gonna do when you're talking about Twin Peaks? Are you gonna just be normal, or are you gonna drink some coffee and eat some pie that comes from a place that pies would go when they die? Oh, I'm making such a mess. Yeah, to be honest, that wasn't like so good that it would kill you. But so, where have I got to? I've finished kind of like the main first arc of the story. Laura's killer has been revealed. And let me just tell you, I knew who it was long before it was revealed. And I'm so happy at that fact. Do you know how I knew? There was a clue in the Red Room in episode 3. The man dancing and the way he was clicking his fingers. And then in one of the episodes, someone starts doing that and I was like, oh shit, it's you. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it. There were some things I missed out on for a while, like Nightmare Bob. I was like, okay, how does he factor into my idea? And I started thinking, oh, like maybe he is like this nightmarish figure that loads of people see in their dreams, but he's not actually in the real world, because there was a case like that. I don't know whether it's a hoax, but there was this thing called This Man a few years back. Apparently has like appeared in over like 3,000 people's dreams or something like that. So it's like, is Nightmare Bob this man for the people of Twin Peaks? So I was kind of like on the mark in a way. But for a long time I was like, oh my god, the owls are not what they seem, the owls are not what they seem. And then suddenly the owls come along and it's just like, phew. So like, I just love the way there's like little crumbs scattered throughout the show. Crumbs. The show packed full of food. Crumbs. Talk about the food, man. So there's like the cherry pie, which when you look at it on the plate when people have been eating it, it kind of looks like a murder scene because of the rich red, the crumbling of the pastry. So like, is that symbolism through food? And like the fact that Agent Cooper says, oh, it's so good it will kill you, and this must be where pie goes to die. So there's like imagery around death and also like it being so sublime that it would kill you. So like, that's kind of interesting. Coffee, I don't really know what the symbolism could be behind that, but the way Agent Cooper describes it's quite poetic. And I must say, I do take my coffee in the same way, which is, I think it's as black as midnight on a moonless night. Poetry. There's the weird smoked cheese pig, which I don't really get, but it's absurd, isn't it? It's just a bit of absurdity that this dude is just casually eating cheese shaped like a pig. Then there's the donuts, and then the way that there's just an absurd amount of donuts. It's a visual gag, isn't it? So it's like, this is a serious investigation, but there's a whole fucking table of donuts. Nobody's gonna eat them all. What else do I love? I love the feel of the show. Like, obviously I'm not watching this when it aired on a shitty little TV set that probably would have added to the charm. Like on one of those fuzzy old square CRT TVs. I had one when I was a kid, and I can just imagine people tuning in every week to watch this. I've had the luxury of being able to binge several episodes in a row each night. Like, I haven't necessarily like hardcore binged this. I'm getting through it quite fast, but not as fast as some people might. So I could only imagine how enthralling and exciting it would have been to slowly get this drip fed to you every week on TV. And I think that's kind of like the charm that has disappeared from television now, is like the age of Netflix. Everything's just kind of like thrown at you and you can just gobble it up as fast as possible. And I kind of miss the agonising wait, like, especially if it's a really intriguing show that you're trying to figure something out. I kind of miss that slow trickle every week where you're just like, oh, I can't wait to watch it. Because it just creates anticipation, it keeps the energy of the show going. Because like once you binge it, you might talk about it with one person for like maybe a few days, and then you're over it. It's just like it doesn't kind of give the show that much impact anymore. But yeah, anyway, I love the aesthetics of this show. Like, it's late 80s, early 90s, small town, everyone kind of dresses in very autumnal colours, knitwear, plaid skirts, so it's like very preppy charm to it. And yeah, it's just like the dream autumnal wardrobe. And also, like, I'd love to have a trench coat like Agent Cooper. Like, I've been looking for a trench coat that fits me well and looks cool for probably like 3 years now, and I just haven't found one because I'm quite small. Most of the trench coats that you can find in shops just swamp me and I look fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so I want a nice trench coat. The interiors as well in this, like the very like 80s suburbia, like the Palmer house. Vile decoration, but it feeds into this coziness. It feels like a safe space. Like, suburban homes feel like a safe space, but they aren't necessarily safe, and they're like riddled with secrets. And that's kind of like the vibe of Laura Palmer. Like, from the outside she seems sweet, innocent, helpful, but then slowly as the series unravels you get to know that she was into some really fucked up shit. And I think that's so intriguing. Then you've got like the hotel with all like is it pine? It might have been like the local fir trees. But yeah, like just the wooden interiors. Again, it gives you a vibe of coziness, warmth. But again, there's just dark shit going on in the rooms of this hotel. So it's just like appearances can totally be deceiving. And again, I think that kind of feeds into the narrative of the show, because you think, oh, one of the bad guys are going to be the killer, but it turns out to be someone that maybe a lot of people didn't necessarily suspect, because appearances can be deceiving. So I'm talking about interiors, and there's like dreamlike lighting as well. Like, whoever did the lighting for this show is a fucking genius, because some of the shots just feel so dreamlike and have this surreal kind of haziness to the light quality that it just looks so beautiful. Then you got like One-Eyed Jacks, which is so opulent and rich in textures. There's like red drapes, there's like patterned things, carpets, so overwhelmingly plush in decoration. It's almost nauseating, and like in a way, because of the circumstances of what's going on in that place, it fits, because there's just like debauchery, so like the debauchery seeps into the atmosphere of the place because it's so overly decorated. And I just love mise-en-scene and like set decoration like that, so it was very pleasing to me to watch it. In terms of cinematography, the way this show is shot for its time was so original, because it's kind of one of the first cinematic TV shows to exist, I believe. So generally most TV shows just were very much standard, and they were just shot quite quickly and easily, I think. So there wasn't anything striking about the cinematography, but with Twin Peaks it very much feels like a cinematic moment in TV bite-sized form. And that's because of the way it's directed. So they like the cameras used, the camera angles, like sometimes there's like weird camera angles that again add to the surrealness. So like quite a lot of things are shot from really far away, and then like you've also got very close-ups. And you've got like high angle camera angles, low angle camera angles, and just like the way the camera moves as well. Sometimes it just follows things and drifts over things as other things are happening, and it's just like, it's very artsy rather than what generally TV is it's just there to show you the action and formulaic, but this kind of broke the boundaries, and I freaking love that. I'm really enjoying it, and it's not as weird as I thought it would be, but it's getting weirder, and I just want it to get even weirder. Like, I don't know whether that's me just being a bit weird. weird. But I just love stuff when it just goes really, really, like, out there. Like, one of my favourite shows ever is Dark, which is the German TV show on Netflix, which in a way could owe some of its vibe to Twin Peaks. Like, small town, cinematic, like, aesthetic, and just the weirdness, the freakiness that happens, and just the fact that you've got to stay with it to kind of unravel the mystery. So like maybe it does owe a little bit to Twin Peaks. But yeah, I just love stuff like that. Like vibes, but plot as well, but like vibes. I don't know what else to say, but I'm really, really loving it. And I might talk about it again when I finish the whole show. So I'm halfway-ish on season 2. So I've got the rest of season 2 to watch. Then I've got Fire Walk With Me, and then I need to watch the revival show, which I'm really intrigued by, because wasn't it like 25 years or maybe more gap between it? It's like, what compelled David Lynch so much to go back to that show? Like, I'm very intrigued by that. And then after I've finished Twin Peaks, I'm probably gonna like just go through Lynch's work because I'm intrigued. And I feel like he's so my kind of director. Like last year, I fell in love with David Cronenberg because that man just gets me cinematically. Like some of his movies have just literally blown me away. Some of them I've thought were shit, but I just like that sometimes where someone just goes for it and experiments with stuff in films, and like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just really intrigued. Like I need to watch Lynch's Dune. I did try watching it years ago, but it was just fucking horrific. So I never finished it, and I think he hates it as well, which is really intriguing because like he clearly had a vision for it, but then the studios didn't allow him to do what he wanted to do. So it would be intriguing to see Lynch's kind of real vision for Dune. But yeah, so I'm gonna like binge watch the rest of David Lynch's work and I'll let you know what I think. But yeah, like I'm obsessed. I think this is such a fucking cool show, and I'm just annoyed that I didn't watch it sooner. Like I swear that's just my vibe, is like I really enjoy things but I'm like so late to the party that it hurts. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you love about Twin Peaks. Who's your favourite character? Mine is Agent Cooper because he's just weird but in a cute way. Like just walking down a corridor going quack quack on a little thing. It's just an oddball and I just think that's quite charming. Log Lady is just a vibe and I'm there for it, and just love the fact that nobody knows her real name, it's just Log Lady. Thanks for watching, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring a ding that bell. Thanks for watching.